I don't know if it's just me, but I found it very sweet that Vegeta gave up his man cave for Bulma. Now, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you know his entire training area. The place where Vegeta goes to have his alone time, to just train and do what Vegeta does best. You know, what we've seen throughout the entirety of since Vegeta's character introduction. I just really appreciate how Vegeta gave up his man cave. Like, his fucking man cave for his wife. That was a very sweet scene, and I was just like, Vegeta, my boy, you're such a good man. If this would have been you in the Buu Saga, Cell Saga, you would not have done that. Like, there's just no fucking way you would have gave up your fucking man cave, your training area, for Bulma, let alone stop training. I mean, that's just a miracle in of itself, but still, the man gave up training for right now, just for Bulma. Like, he's wanting to stay near her, but on top of that, he allowed her to enter into his sanctuary, and he's thinking up a name for his child. That is just amazing, seeing how much Vegeta has developed. I mean, it always amazes me to see how much he has changed as a character since Dragon Ball Z. So, this episode mainly focuses on Vegeta trying to come to terms with being a father, and to a new child, but also the baby is on its way, and now we need to select warriors for the Tournament of Power. So there's a little bit of things going on here and there throughout the episode, but overall, it's mainly focused on the baby coming, and Vegeta trying to figure out a name for his child, and also Vegeta just showing that he truly, truly does love his daughter, and he does want to actually spend time with her quite a bit. Because if we go into the, portions of Dragon Ball Z, when, Vegeta found out Trunks was his son in the Cell Saga, you gotta remember, Vegeta didn't really give a shit at all. He didn't really care, and just seeing how this man has just made such a 180 compared to his Cell Saga self and even his Buu Saga self, and how much he has changed to where he actually cares. He's taking all of this time to think of a name and all that. He's just pacing around, and he's just telling, Trunks and all them and Goten to go put the baby cradle somewhere in a room to where it's nice and good for the baby when it's finally born. I just love how Vegeta was taking a lot of time to really care and just think about what he needs to do. So, one of the big things, too, I also appreciated was when that Vegeta turned down the Battle Royale at first, because he was like, Kakarot, shouldn't you be happy that I'm not going to be participating? Because, I mean, if I'm not there, you get all the opponents to yourself. I mean, wouldn't that make you happy, me not being there? Vegeta was even turning down a big-ass tournament with all of the universes. He was turning it down. That, I was like, bro, Vegeta, like, my god, like, how much you care for your child, it's unbelievable. But on top of that, though, you gotta imagine how this is going to really amp up Vegeta's determination to win this tournament. Think about this, okay? Vegeta has a new life to protect. He has someone that he deeply cares about, clearly, from what we see in this episode. What's gonna happen when Vegeta finds out that his entire universe is at stake? His new, child, his daughter, his life is at stake. How do you think Vegeta is gonna react? Obviously, he's gonna get pissed off. Obviously, he's going to probably train the fucking shit out of himself. Like, he's gonna get insanely strong just for he could probably fight in this tournament and beat the shit out of everyone. I can already see it. You can clearly see it because of Vegeta's character, but also because of how much Vegeta cares about his daughter that was just born. So let's talk about Whis for a second. So Whis was able to speed up the actual birth of the new child, which was very interesting, because at the end of the day, we don't really know how much we sped up the childbirth. We don't really know. We could assume he sped it up maybe by a couple minutes, a couple hours, a couple days, maybe fucking a month. I mean, we don't really know, but assuming by the way everybody was getting ready and stuff for the birthing of the new child of Vegeta and Bulma, I'm assuming it was going to come in a matter of a day or two, or maybe hours. I have no idea, but apparently Whis was able to actually, speed up the process, which is what caused it to where Vegeta is able to participate in the Tournament of Power in the first place. So if it wasn't for Whis intervening in the first place, obviously, Vegeta might not have been able to participate in the Tournament of Power. So good man Whis. I mean, even though you obviously don't really care about Beerus's life or probably anyone else's life because your life isn't in danger, you're still a good man for allowing Vegeta to be able to participate in the Tournament of Power, because honestly, if Vegeta wasn't there, it would be very, very probably hard for them to win, because, I mean, Goku and Vegeta are pretty much equals. I mean, the only thing that Goku really has over Vegeta now is Kaioken, which is insanely strong, and so Goku is stronger. It just, the main point is that if Vegeta wasn't there, that's like a big portion of the chunk of their power that wouldn't be there for the Tournament of Power, and obviously if Vegeta didn't come, they would have to factor in Yamcha, which, oh god, like, why? Okay, let's talk about that Yamcha scene for a second, okay? Yamcha, my boy. No. I love how Yamcha tried to talk himself up, acting like he was all important and all that. He was going to be able to be a part of the tournament. My boy Yamcha, like, no, it's not happening. Have you seen the opening song? Have you seen the opening song, Yamcha? Have you seen the opening song? Well, obviously he hasn't, but you get my point. Like, Yamcha, you're not going to be participating because you're weak. You died to a Cyberman earlier on in Dragon Ball Z, okay? You get wrecked too easy. They're just, no. No. I swear, like, there's just no way. So when this man would just walked off and all that, he was not going to want to ask, they wanted to ask him, and he was going to pop up at the last second, I'm like, Yamcha being Yamcha, and Yamcha, you're not going to get that spot. It's going to be for Vegeta, so get the fuck out of here. That was pretty funny. I don't know if I was the only one, but it was a very funny scene. So, yeah, I mean, this episode also showcases, once again, how incompetent Supreme Kai is, which, oh my god, like, I know Supreme Kai, he lost everyone else that was working with him when he was, you know, an early Supreme Kai, like he was a new Supreme Kai, because of, you know, the entire incident with Majin Buu. But this man doesn't even know who's really strong in his universe. He really has no idea. He knows there's like 28 planets or whatever that have, you know, mortal life, but he doesn't know who's really strong or not. He hasn't really looked into it. So, shouldn't that be your fucking job? Shouldn't that be your fucking job? Like, that really blows me away. Like, shouldn't that be your fucking job to find out who's really strong or not? Because, look, you're sitting here all these years trying to figure out a way to beat Majin Buu. Shouldn't you have looked into other planets to be able to help you out with defeating Majin Buu or something? I mean, there's just a lot of things that could factor in this. And I'm like, Supreme Kai, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you... It just doesn't make sense to me. You'd think with some die, they would look into those planets, the records, or something, but somehow he doesn't know about who's really strong or not in his own universe. And I'm like, this is... Yeah. Okay, so this explains why our, you know, universe is so weak. Now, 28 planets, mortal life? Well, I think it's not the number that is kind of scary because it's low. It's just the fact because of what Frieza did, and also Buu did, and other countless enemies throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Z that probably caused the situation with such a lack of mortal life throughout the universe, because Frieza, you know, killing off a bunch of planets, the man was just saying, you know, get rid of this planet threatens me, don't want this planet rising up and being stronger than me. He was a space emperor, obviously. So, when you look at it like this, I think the reason why there's not a lot of power throughout the universe is because of Frieza, the man, you know, killing off a bunch of, you know, different races and species because they would threaten him. It makes sense now when you look at it. So, yeah. Regardless, though, you'd think Supreme Kai would know a little bit more about what is going on in his own universe, but apparently not. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.